hate to break the fishing news after Remchuk, but I'd like to speak about the ice hockey.
Congratulations, you're one of the 13 listeners of the Real Life Podcast.
We just traded a migraine in for like an orgasm.
Might want to mark that down.
Yep.
All of my projects are on schedule until they're not.
A member of the Nation Network of Podcasts.
About as funny as we're going to get today. Liam, you got me shook. I got 2 microphones. I got one you told me to pick up, and then I'm using one I don't think I'm supposed to use.
Real life. Put one in your left hand, one in your right hand, and you'll be fine.
I'll say things twice as important.
He's double fisting.
Oh, my Lord.
That is going to sound when you come out, though. Like,
Real life.
you know, it is what it is.
Did you see that footage of DJ Khaled playing basketball with those little kids and dunking on them?
Real life.
I did not. No, I did not.
He's back. He's got
DJ
new
Khaled?
teeth. DJ Khaled's got enormous James Neal teeth now.
Major key alert.
Another one.
Who's here today, Bag Milk?
We
Let's
the
go down
best.
Why are you going to let it DJ Khaled, bud?
We the best.
He must be thrilled about his teeth.
I love the Roadcaster.
We got a different crew today.
Good crew, though.
Solid crew, a fine crew.
Your
Tyler's-
Remchuk free. That's good news.
Yeah, he's fucked off.
Fuck.
He's gone on his vacation.
Good riddance.
Bag Milk here, Wanya here. Better Tyler in as producer.
Hello.
Kennedy making a real life debut.
Fantastic
My
news.
debut. I'm so
Chalmers
excited.
outside doing something.
I was waiting outside for him thinking that whatever he was going to do was rap. I don't know what he was doing. It was not rapping.
He's going to be burning a hole in your grass outside Dog Patch because he's just walking back and forth like a cartoon character.
As his old industry of construction fades to dust and we have fun one floor up podcasting. Very transformative.
Kicking off real life, I want to give a shout out to the Oilersnation Open set to go on September 1st. You guys made some content yesterday, Liam.
Yes.
Talk about
I was going to say
that golf tourney.
I went golfing with Chalmers, Jay, and Tyler yesterday. Chalmers might be the best golfer I've ever
He's
seen
unbelievable.
in my life.
He's
really
unreal,
good.
man.
That guy, we played 18, obviously. He had one bad shot the entire day.
Yeah.
And the reason it was a bad shot is because he ended up in the bunker and he's a righty and the ball was basically at the bottom of a hill and he had to stand there and he just like clipped the top of the bunker as he was coming out and he still made it like 200 yards. I had endless bad holes. I went into the day and they asked me what my handicap was. I have never, ever been asked what my handicap
I'm supposed
is
to say
before.
yes.
That
I just
is
said-
not a good sign, as we say in the industry.
I said, I shoot 100.
Oh,
Chalmers said, okay, I can figure this out. And then they did it. And then on the first hole, I probably had the best drive of my life.
Fantastic.
And they were all amazed by it. I proceeded to double bogey the hole.
That's all right.
Yep.
Rolling
So
start.
I'm consistent. I think Chalmers hit 7 birdies yesterday.
Yeah, he's that
I
guy.
did
Yeah,
not
he's
get
good.
one par.
He's
No
that
good.
good.
That's
He's good
why I
under
thought he was-
pressure.
Yes.
I thought he was crazy last week. So Wanya, last week you weren't on the podcast when Jay hit his home run. We were doing the
Unbelievable.
post-game analysis, if you will.
Yeah.
And I said to Chalmers, I bet if you were just lined up at a par 3 hole, endless balls, you would eventually hit a home run. Or not a home run, a hole in
A
one.
hole in
Doesn't
one.
have one.
Because he doesn't have one.
This is amazing.
And he says he would not be able to. He doesn't think he'd be able to. But I think if he just got to do what Jay did, essentially, but the golf version of it, you would eventually drain one. He's fucking good.
So I
Yeah.
met Chalmers and Jay long ago because of golfing, right? We were all at the same golf course. I met him when I was like, I think 13, right? And Chalmers then was a phenomenal golfer.
He was actually telling me about the young golf days yesterday.
Was he?
Yeah, a little
These
bit.
olden days stories they were
Yeah.
telling the kids. I remember his mom was the general manager of the golf course. So when I was signing up for my membership with my mom, she was like, "Oh, I have a son roughly your age. Maybe you guys can hang out." And I remember thinking like, "Yeah, the fuck we will, lady. Yeah, why don't you just hang out with your son? Just walk up to him and be like, hello." Well, it turns out, 400 years later, we're on a podcast together.
I asked him to tell me that's like about how him and Jay met, and he never said that you were there. So
Oh, they met probably 2 years before I met. So they
Okay.
all met like in elementary school at the golf course.
Yeah.
And then I came in when I was probably like 12.
So
So they were already a crew. And so I joined, I like telling these stories without them present,
Yeah.
so they can't contradict me. But as I recall perfectly, I joined the golf course with a friend of mine who played golf with 2 batting gloves on, which is the mark of an idiot. And these snooty ass kids at the golf
First
course.
real life sponsored athlete, if I remember correctly.
What do you mean?
The 2 golf gloves? What's that guy's name?
Oh, Neil Thomas?
No.
Neil Thomas is the unreal golfer,
Is that the guy who give
but he
free
wore 2 golf gloves.
Nation beer too?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
This cat wore 2 batting gloves when we were
Ah, I
like
see.
12.
Gotcha.
And so these snooty kids at the golf course were like, that kid's an idiot. And I remember thinking, I'm going to hold a grudge for 50, 60 years at least. That was Jay and Chalmers.
interesting.
And the rest is history.
So we didn't
Yeah.
like each other for about 2 years.
Mhm.
And then we joined a podcast 20 years later.
There you go.
In between, nothing happened. And you're completely up to speed.
Yep. All right.
So anyways,
Yeah.
Jay went dinger, and that's got to be the highest viewed Riverhawks dinger of the season.
I've seen one other home run in that ballpark, and it was Eric Zabrowski.
I saw one
In a playoff
last year.
game.
I couldn't tell you who hit it, but that was the second one I saw there.
I saw a guy playing for the Edmonton Capitals, which was before your time.
I remember the Capitals.
Okay, it wasn't
Yeah.
before your time. And he was the tallest person ever in the league. He was like this giant man, and the bat looked like a toothpick in his hand, like Mighty Casey at bat. And he didn't get a home run.
No. Well, Jay did it after 4 hours, so maybe
Yeah.
It took 4 hours. It looked like it took 30 seconds. Chalmers, it looked like it took
feels
30
like
seconds on
It
Insta.
felt like
How many hacks do you think he got, Chalmers? 60?
Oh man, how's it going? I guess better late than never. Hey, am I right? Big
Thank you for the free promo.
Yeah.
He's coming and taking control. He's
Milk,
back
the
on
best
top.
podcast by Big Milk. You know, how many hacks do I think it took him total? I would say probably about 50, 45 to 50. I think we went 3 sessions of around 15 to 20 balls each. And then he got it kind of at the tail end of the third one. There was a moment there after probably his 25th swing where I thought the whole thing was shutting down
I was
because
going to say between his second and third round, you and I were talking to each other and we kind of went, well, this post podcast may not be as fun.
it might not be. And he was getting gassed. It was hot, but the real problem was he in golf, in baseball, he doesn't wear gloves. He never has.
He's a feel guy.
He's been like Vladdy Guerrero. He says it's feel, and I don't understand it, but he came to me and he's like, God, look at this. And he had a huge gash on the meaty part of his hand. And it was big. And I'm like, there's no way he's going to be able to swing like 25 more times even and not do it with the strength that he needed. But then he got batting gloves. And so, yeah, I don't know. Is 60 wrong? Did he think 60 balls?
60.
Maybe 60. Yeah.
That's exhausting. 60
It was.
hacks?
I mean, and so we started out lined up right to the mound, right to the back catcher. And his pull at that point was going.
there was no poll.
There was no pull. It was like just off center of left, kind of, if you know Remax, it was the scoreboard. And he did.
That's too far.
It's just too far. He doesn't have the length for that. And we knew it. So we pulled the L screen
That's what
over
she said.
because we needed him to pull it down the line if we were going to get this thing done. And that's, so we did, but I mean, it was exhausting down there. It was hot. It was
boiling.
It was boiling.
And it was
Like, we were all
smoky and it was muggy. Now let me ask you this.
Yeah.
We were all there, Wanya notwithstanding. What do you make of the asterisks being applied to the home run by
Foot over the line.
foot over the line?
I ignited that on Twitter because I was vulnerable. I didn't go. So I chirped what surveyor Brett said.
So if anybody's listened to this, they know from the very beginning that this whole topic has been brought out. I have been starchly against the fact that he could do it. No, and to the point where I know my group of friends, I know when we have competitions like this, I know that an asterisk is easily found. That's why I was so worried about the bat. That's
Like
why I
when
was
you were
so
chumming.
shut up.
Still got it.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say because we didn't chum, but hey, it's good for content. But
good joke.
But so that's why I needed like the bat to be right, the pitching, the mode of pitching to be right. In my mind, moving that L screen over and him standing at the front of the batter's box, where when he steps forward, his front foot is out of the batter's box. To me, that is a non-starter. That's no asterisks. That's nothing. He's standing at that plate. The extra foot he got from being outside the batter's box didn't make a lick of difference as to whether or not that ball went out. Pulling that L screen over, all that did was help him hit it to the part of the field that he could do it. And about 15 balls in, like 15 pitches in that he hit, nobody wanted to be wrong more than I did. I wanted him to do it.
Yeah.
So at that point, there wasn't I just didn't want it to be something like he couldn't get a good pitch to hit.
And that's what I
Luckily,
said.
the kids stepped in and I was just absolutely planting them.
You're just pitching to Jay. Hey, just lobbing him in. Hey?
Oh, we worked on our speed.
How are you feeling on
was thinking that.
Friday?
How are you?
Tommy John surgery?
Yeah, well, not only did I pitch to JR every single ball he hit, but then, when he would take his breaks, somebody else would step in. And even for about 30 minutes before we got out there, Coombs and myself and Tyler, we would change who was
Everybody would
throwing
take turns.
BP. We would take turns, but I threw quite a few pitches. And to be honest with you, I felt fine. And the reason I did was because I've been doing this with my U13 baseball team for a while now. So it's kind of seasoned.
Because Jay was not feeling fine on.
No, he was not feeling fine the next day.
Understandably so.
Those swings are aggressive. Like
Yeah.
you even watch the home run derby. They get 3 minutes, or is it 2 minutes and then it's an extra 30 seconds? Or no, it's 3 minutes and then an extra 30 seconds. And a guy like Vlad Guerrero is absolutely wiped after 3 minutes.
So how long was he at the plate for? 4 hours?
No,
We were
no,
there.
no. I
We
think
were there
We
for
were
4
there.
Oh,
I
how
think
long-
he hit for like an hour straight with like no. Like
Does that ever happen
barely
in
a
real
break.
baseball? I don't watch much.
Yep.
Guys will
Yeah.
be at the plate for an hour? Mm-hmm. Fantastic news.
Yeah. I think the total time at bat for him was somewhere, in the 50 to 60 minutes.
Totally.
Yeah.
Easy.
Swinging.
Yeah.
I was recording it all on that GoPro, and every time someone switched, I stopped it. And most people would go for about 8 minutes, and Jay's sessions were like almost 20 minutes, 15, 20.
Yeah, there was 5 videos. of
Yeah,
your
about that
footage.
time.
How fun was it running around in the outfield shagging balls though?
It was funny watching other people try and catch it and they completely miss.
There was
ideal.
There was a section I brought 5, my son and 5 other kids from
5 of your kids or just general kids?
5 of my kids. I just found them all.
Yeah, just called up the first 5 in your phone.
Yeah. And then I got them all over there in their gear because like how much fun is it running around Remax and shagging balls? And I kind of felt like we'd be a little light out there. Well,
I'm glad you did.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Because the original plan when I talked to you Tuesday night or whatever it was
just
Wednesday
you
night,
and Liam,
me
wasn't
and
it?
Liam were going to be the ones out there.
In a full-sized outfield.
I could have just seen the 2 of us out there and been like, well, you guys got to.
And when you said that to me, I'm like, okay, we're going to have a bucket of like 30 balls, meaning I throw those 30. You guys, we're not going to be very efficient. Let's put it that way. And he's not
You
going
almost
to
need one person for every ball.
Yeah. So the boys were out there having a good time, but like Coombsy, our boy Christopher Palmer drove in from Calgary to come hang out in his Willie McCovey jersey. Oh yeah.
Drove in.
Yeah.
Drove
Stopped
in
at
from
Willock
Calgary.
on the way. The
Shout
dude was
out.
hitting all. Oh, what a
Big
good guy, man. I think he had some fun. He got to take some hacks too. So it was awesome. But
With the effort, he should be allowed to
yeah,
be on the scoreboard at minimum.
but like there was a section in the second portion of Jay's hitting where he wasn't connecting with any of them.
No, he was
At
duffing.
one point, I looked in the outfield and everybody's just like standing there. And I'm like, oh boy. Okay, we gotta. And I looked at him. I'm like, big man, we gotta get moving here. Like we gotta start getting some contact here. And it was, hey, the relationship between a BP pitcher and a hitter, it's a real thing.
Going back through all the footage that I took, because there was a ton. We had the GoPro on Liam. Aaron was up in the box recording on the big screen. I had my phone going. Tyler had his phone on a stand. There are so many different angles of this hit being hit. And going back through it, it's like, okay, everybody's like jazzed, ready to go at the start. And then towards the 40-minute mark, everybody's like, ooh, how much longer are we going to be out here?
Oh yeah.
But that was also another cool thing, just because we had Aaron in there running the cameras. To see the home run also as an instant replay immediately was
so
pretty
cool.
hilarious.
2 drone cameras run by Riverhawks staff. We had fully Jay on the big screen the whole time he's doing it. Music pumping over the loudspeakers. I mean, the only thing that could have possibly made that experience any better is if it was 10 o'clock at night, the sun was down and the lights were on.
And the stadium was full.
And the
you all
stadium was
played-
full, but
You
I
all
think
played for the Riverhawks.
no, we all played for
Yes.
Yeah.
if the stadium was full, there was no way he was going to do it and I think this is like the next thing, isn't it?
Well, he's going to try to
doing
do it on August 3rd.
in a stadium full
How
of
many
people.
pitches?
They get 10 outs. So essentially, well, how would you describe that, Chalmers? 10 outs.
So they're going to throw enough baseballs where if he hits one, it's going to be an out. It's considered an out if it doesn't go out of the park.
Yes.
So if a guy pitches to him and he doesn't swing, that's not an out. I mean, it's just a pitch. So he's going to get 10 legit contacted swings, and one of those has got to make it out.
Best of luck.
Seems like a lot. Are you not doing it?
I'm not doing it. I just think he's doing it. It's just a Make-A-Wish Oodle Noodle
Yes,
thing,
for
I think.
Oodle
Was it
Noodle.
his
I
Make-A-Wish?
Well, no, he got his Make-A-Wish. That was his Make-A-Wish, was
Yeah, it
to
was.
hit one out of Remax, and he did it that day.
I was like, do you have to be like sick and a child to get a Make-A-Wish? What, JB, the first healthy adult, got his own Make-A-Wish? What's going on here? He just pulls every card out of the deck.
Is it really a make-a-wish if you just make it happen for yourself?
Yeah.
You pay the way.
Yeah.
One time I showed up at Jordan Everly's house in a bassinet I'd made myself, and I told him it was my make-a-wish.
Yeah.
But he just phoned the police.
You mentioned
me.
Christopher Palmer driving up from Calgary for Jay's home run. He also stopped at Wilhauk Beef Jerky because, that's what you do. 3 locations, Leduc, Spruce Grove, West Edmonton Mall. Go get some stuff.
Did you ask him if he was related to Arnold Palmer?
No.
Didn't come up?
Very much enjoys the drink, though.
Is that right?
I mean, who doesn't?
It is
Probably his
delicious.
dad's drink.
Yes.
Probably gets money off it.
Do you know how you can make a real poor man's golf course Arnold Palmer?
Go ahead.
You take a Twisted Tea and a Smirnoff Ice and you just mix those two together.
That's all you need.
It's very sugary and really bad for you.
Yeah, you're only having one of those.
You're only having one of those. But obviously we'd all love to have vodka, like sweet tea, lemonade, or sweet tea and lemonade. And that is like the perfect Arnold Palmer.
Freshly
but you can't
squozen
always
even.
get those. Freshly squozen.
Yeah.
Squozen.
Squozen.
Anyways, he didn't just buy some beef jerky. He bought like the big bag and a whole bunch of them sausages.
Dang.
Oh yeah.
boy.
It was fueling the team, that's for sure.
Go
Got
check
all
out
that dad's golf money.
WilhaukBeefJerky.com. Get some jerky. I promise you're going to love it.
Let's talk about our golf round yesterday.
I did mention how you're probably the greatest golfer I've ever seen, and I think you had one bad shot all day.
Oh, I appreciate that.
I said the one bad shot, which wasn't even really your fault, was when you had to shoot it out of the bunker on 16 or 15, whatever it was. And you hit the tip and still managed to get it probably further than my drive.
It was, I had a hybrid on a par 5 from 248 in the bunker. And I was like, there's no way I'll hit that lip. It's nice and low. And I hit the lip. And so, it was a good day. Course was looking awesome. I'm glad I played well. It was fun. 5 birdies, no big deal.
5 birdies.
5 of them.
Oh, I thought you
rolling them in, and still only beat these guys by like dormied 3 and 2. So that means that we were up 3 with only 2 to play, which means they can't come back.
Yeah.
But it was at the turn, it was even, and I birdied 10, I birdied 11.
Amen.
To go up 2, and then I lipped out for birdie on 3, which would have put us up. But Jay birdied 12.
Yes.
Which meant we were now up 3. And it was kind of, I think Tyler's wedding hangover started to kick in about that point, but he was playing really well too.
I was surprised he was able to make it out after.
Yeah. Liam off the tee, unbelievable. Just killing it. And then he would have, he would get to the green and then, just
crap my pants.
Maybe crap his pants a little bit. But listen, if you don't, like, every golf course's greens are different. So you've got to figure them out. And, it's all about how quickly you can figure them out. And
golf is one of those games you cannot be casually good at. You got to get your at-bats in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that course, and here's why this course is going to be so much fun to play, is that
where were you, Chalmers?
We were at the Millwoods Golf Course.
Mm-hmm.
And we played the tees that we are going to be playing in the tournament, which is the whites. We didn't go tips. We went because, it was 6,400, still not that bad length. So we're going to be playing whites in the tournament. But what this course sets up so well for is that if everybody knows a scramble, like a scramble strategy off the tee is, you usually have one long hitter. So you get somebody to put one nice and safe, and then you bomb away and you try to up it. So you have a safe drive. Well, the good thing about Millwoods is that it's nice and open. Now there is like what would be considered fescue, but it's cut down. So
you can
it's
rope
like
them over
really
the fence
thick
there too in a few holes.
You can, but it's kind of nice and wide open. There's trees everywhere, obviously, but there's really drivable holes. But what's really fun is that, like, if you drive the way I was driving, I pretty much had the same like shot into most of the par 4s, which was a shot between 88 and 110 yards. So if you're dialed in on those as a team, you can go low. Like, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's a great scramble course.
September 1st, the Oilersnation Open is happening out at Millwoods Golf Course. You can submit your team of 4 at nationgear.ca. You can submit as a single if you want to be on a mosaic team, or if you want, you can help us raise a little bit more money for Gregor's grads by making a bid to golf with either Chalmers and Jay or Liam and Tyler.
If you want to play with the greatest golfer Liam's ever played with, bid on me and Jay.
Liam, also, here's a footnote about Millwoods Golf Course. It used to be a city dump. So if you're playing out there at any point and you dig down 6 feet, you know what you get?
dump?
Jackpot.
Oil?
1960s City of Edmonton garbage.
What do you think it's like now?
Bell bottoms that are in advanced decay.
Yeah. A lot of corduroy.
Yeah, you got some slug
Do you
bug.
think there'll ever
Volkswagen
be
Beetles.
a thing where people are like, we need nostalgic things from the past? Let's dig up old dumps.
I bet you. I'll bet you money, Chalmers.
Not.
Garbage dumps are the mines of tomorrow because it's cheaper to recycle shit in dumps than it is to mine.
Do you know? So I used to, when I was like 19 years old, I used to, the
Live
very
underground?
first job I had for my father's house building
Here we
company
go.
was, we used to always, they didn't have bins back then. So in construction, you didn't have like a bin on every site. You would have just a pile of garbage, and then you would pay. And there was not that many of them at this time, but a company with a truck to come pick it up. They were so busy that your sites would look like crap. So I talked my dad into buying a truck, and I will drive it and I will clean up the sites until I can hire some guys to do it. So I was like picking up full loads of garbage, and I would go to the dump with these loads of garbage, and it would blow your mind at any given moment at how much lumber you would see. I'm telling you, I've driven into lumber yards that have less lumber than the dump on that day. And then the bulldozer would just break it all up and push it into spots. And I was just like, where is all this coming from? Right? You know, we would throw out anything. If it was, you know, we'd throw like anything under 4 feet.
So now fast forward 20 years, lumber is shooting through the roof. We've got to go dig up some dumps.
That's kind of, I think, what Wanye's getting at. It's,
Yep.
One time, me and Chalmers were working on a construction project. We won't name the bar or who owned it.
I think you
Hint, it was
probably would
both of
know.
us, and it was our bar. And we had no money because times were tough.
Yeah, we were young.
And we had to build booths, and we didn't have that new booth money. And I said, "Don't worry, I'll get wood." Do you remember where I'm going with this?
I don't like where you're going with it, but I remember.
So I go and get wood. And Chalmers comes. This is in my gangster days, Liam. I didn't care. And he goes, "Where'd you get this wood, Wanye?" And I said, "You know, wood store, wood depot, I believe was the one I went to." And he said, "You know, it's interesting. Look at the end here of these boards. And do you see how they're painted all these different colors?" And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah. So housing projects, like, we'll have a different color wood for each house, and they paint the ends of the wood a certain color in case someone tries to grip their wood. They go around and look at all the other places." I was like, "I didn't know that. I stole all this wood, Chalmers."
Yeah, I know.
Like,
I was very
know you
aware.
did. And I was like, "But I went to like a whole bunch of different work sites and stole one board from each site." Hence, in my mind, thinking it wasn't theft.
Yeah.
So the point of the matter is, Chalmers, why didn't you tell me that day to go to the dump where Woodapalooza?
And
I
I
would have
did.
just gone out there and stole all the wood for our booths there,
And
which turned out great.
They did turn out great.
Considering what
And
we
I'm,
made them
you put a guy up against a wall with his back to the wall, and you know, he'll do anything.
I won't even tell
But
you where I got all the barrels from.
I don't even want to know. So, but here I am,
I got you that wood, though.
constantly checking on lumber packages every morning for my dad's house building company, making sure people didn't steal it. And now I'm accessory to it. Thank God that was like 25 years ago.
That was the statute of limitations was run out.
Yeah.
But Chalmers definitely walked around. He's like, "You see all the colors at the end of those boards?" And I was like, "I hadn't noticed." I was like, "That's like 20 different work sites you hit?" I'm like,
Yeah. Oh, I could tell. I'm like, you didn't just get this from one, eh? He's like, no.
I drove around for like
How do you know
4
that? I'm like,
hours.
oh God, man.
I was like just taking a little bit, like reverse
Like, how
Santa. A little
inefficient
bit from
is
you,
this?
a little bit from you. And then I had them all in my mom's van. I took the license plate off, so I was untraceable with modern technology in my mind.
Oh, yeah.
And then brought all the wood to work and then went back and parked the car, put the license plate back on. Bob's your uncle. We had booths
Yeah, I did.
for the low price of $0. Plus our time, also worth $0.
I don't like it.
Anyways, Millwoods Golf Course for the Nation Golf Tournament.
Nishgear.ca if you want to sign up for a team.
And if you're
Sometimes you
committing
got to crack a
crimes,
few eggs to make an omelet. Am I
don't
right?
involve Chalmers. He'll always catch you.
Good segue.
Or if you're going to steal some wood, cut that painted bit off.
Yeah.
Or steal it and then don't talk about it for 22 years after.
Yeah, you got to
Yeah.
make sure the statute.
And then get yelled at by Chris so much you'd never do it again.
It's not 22 years. Oh, no, I would never do it again.
I know.
I was
I
scared
know
you
you
would.
would.
Chalmers used to come up with jobs. He'd be like, "You know what we need you to do, Wanye? We need you to take all that stuff over there and put it in the other corner of the room. We're building the bar." So I'd go and move it all. And they'd be like, "Now what, Dad?" And he's like, "I need you to take all that stuff
Move
over
it
there,
back.
Move it back over there." And I was like, "I'm on it, Pops."
No, but
And I'm moving
here's the funny
everything.
thing.
Never got to do any real work.
Sometimes I wasn't very good at explaining why things need to be happen, but
You kept me feeling
there was
engaged.
always things that needed to be done in places where there was material. So you had to move it.
One time we were moving
And then it would have to get moved back
there
because
was
there
all
was
this
something else.
HVAC on the roof and we were doing demo. And I was like, I could get that thing across the roof down quick. So I grabbed 2 crowbars, jumped up and hung from it. And then Chalmers comes around the corner. He's like, what are you doing? Your HVAC. And it released from the roof because I was hanging on it because I didn't realize inside that box was a pipe.
Oh. Another life lesson.
There were no work permits either. Statute of limitations.
We live and we learn, you know?
We live and we learn.
We learn.
We live and we learn. I thought we would have the bar built in 6 weeks. It took 4 months.
Yeah.
Close.
Oh,
To be fair, we were drunk.
To be fair, we didn't have a plan.
No, we were drunk.
So we were learning as we went.
There was a lot of pizza. It's a good day at work when you could have some pizza. I would say fundamentally we're stupider now than we were then.
That's the whole thing is like, you always say, well, you live and you learn. And like, sometimes that is just not the case.
I don't learn. I learn very little.
Yeah.
It's that sense of optimism that keeps me propelling forward.
Learning's overrated anyway.
Did you see that thing I did with the baby Skinner on Instagram?
yes.
Yeah.
No.
I was
anyone laughing?
hysterical.
I was
I was going to message you and be like, this is so funny.
It was so early this morning. I saw that photo and I was like, you know, what would be really funny is if baby Skinner had a little thing.
A little monologue.
Yeah, he was pretty funny.
It was good.
Oh, did you do one of those things where you do like the same picture, but with like a different caption all every time?
talking, yeah.
I like those.
Just keep zooming in.
I'm really excited for Connor and Lauren to have a baby.
Oh, the royal baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I looked up
Nuge is up first, though. How dare you?
on average, it's 38 months between wedding and baby.
So the wedding will be next summer.
Yeah.
So 38 months.
You got to think they'll go quick though.
divided by 3.
Like Connor's not scraping up pennies to buy a crib here.
They're going
kids.
to, like, Connor's going to make sure that they plan that the kid's not born during hockey season, though.
Oh, yeah.
So it'll be like the summer after, if not the same.
And he'll probably get Lauren and the baby. They each get a house on his cul-de-sac, but he gets to do his workouts in the basement and shit. I cannot wait for Connor McDavid to have a baby. Connor McBaby, I call him. Or her.
Is it one of those things where like people always win like a major or a golf tournament after they have a baby?
They do?
It's known.
They shout out the baby?
If somebody has like a baby, then bet on them in like the next golf tournament they play in, or like, yeah.
Think about Connor's dad. He must have played hockey at some point, right?
Oh, you would
And think of how good Connor is compared to his dad. If this keeps up,
True.
Connor's kid, that much better than his dad than Connor was, then
Similar to
damn,
the,
this baby's going to score some points.
But why
Similar
weren't
to the
Gretzky's
twins
kids good
thing.
at hockey then?
Well, we could get into this, but it's all very mean.
Oh,
Go on.
it's similar to the twins thing we discussed a few weeks ago with your friends from Australia.
Yeah.
Same trajectory.
Same exact thing.
Same,
The
same.
Gretzky kids, I think it is very, very, very hard to be the kid of Wayne Gretzky.
If your
because he
dad
was
is
like,
the best of the best,
why is Michael Jordan's kid, right? Like Shaq's kids, yes, they are reasonably good. Now, Bronny James Jr., very, very good. But like Gretzky had a hard time being a coach because he couldn't explain to Coyotes how to be better. He could just be like, I'm Wayne Gretzky. And I bet you it was the same with his kids.
To be fair, nobody's been able to explain to the Arizona Coyotes how to be better at hockey.
Zing!
just like James McCartney, you know, he's a musician. Probably shouldn't have been.
Gretzky's like a freak of nature.
what about
That
Bob
doesn't
Dylan's son?
translate.
He was good.
Yeah, the Wallflower's great.
Mm-hmm.
Bob Dylan's son played hockey?
No,
No, he was the singer of
he
the
was the singer
Wallflowers.
of the one headline.
Oh, I thought we were done.
You know that track?
No, it's a good track.
Great
Big
track.
jam. Huge jam.
Mm-hmm.
Huge jam.
Huge jam.
Did you know that Akon produced all his own music?
Yeah, he owned the Masters too.
He's incredibly wealthy.
He's got.
He did drink.
He was also the most downloaded artist for ringtones when ringtones were a thing.
Probably with Lonely, I would assume.
Probably.
that
Great jam.
was- yeah. I was right around then.
Blame on Me. Remember that song? He got in trouble because there was an underage girl twerking at a club when he was performing, and then he put out a banger to apologize. Called
That's how you
Blame
do it.
on Me.
Blame on me.
It's a good track.
That's how you do it.
That's how you do it.
You apologize via track.
If you want to say sorry, put it to a beat.
Mm-hmm.
That's
how
an
I like it.
underrated catalog he's got.
Akon?
When he was explaining how successful he was and how many songs he made for people and how all his own music he produced, it was incredible, man. That guy's legit. And he's now making apparently a city in Africa.
Akon
he's got
City. I'm on the
Akoin.
website right now.
We've talked about this before, where he's got his own currency.
Yeah, it is very futuristic. I mean, I'm only looking at renderings right now, but Akon City does.
Yeah,
look
like don't
legit.
get me wrong. I'm not moving everything into the Acoin coin, whatever the hell. No, thank you. But I wish him well. You know what I mean?
Of course.
What country is it going to be in?
I don't think they have a name for it yet.
There's not a name for the
They're
country.
putting dirt in the ocean until it's an island.
Yeah, you can check it out at
No, I think it's in
aconcity.com.
Senegal.
Oh, okay.
aconcity.com. You get all the latest updates. Looks very futuristic.
How about that one city they're trying to make in, might be United Arab Emirates? That's just like a straight line.
Oh yeah,
Ah,
it's
yes.
called the line. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Doesn't make
like
any sense. What if you
everything's
need
within,
something
like-
at the end of the line?
No, because you're all supposed to be contained.
It's all
Everything you
skinny
need.
winny.
Everything you need is in one. Your
500
little
miles
cart,
but
straight to the ocean.
Don't you get bored of all those things and you want
Sure.
something new? And that's why people go
Sure.
on vacations?
but you don't need it.
It's also never going to happen. So there's that too. It's just science fiction shit. I don't know, man.
How dare you?
I remember when I went to Dubai and I was
Let me
talking-
live, man.
No.
Yeah.
When I went to Dubai, you know the Burj Khalifa, that really tall building in the middle of Dubai? It's not connected to the sewer.
Is that the one where
What the hell does it-
Diesel
Hang on,
jumped
hang on.
I'm
building to building in Fast and Furious 6?
I don't know.
No, look that one up.
But it's a very tall building. But
What do you mean it's not connected to
it's
the sewer?
not connected.
Where'd the
to
poo go?
Every middle of the night, like hundreds of honey wagons roll in and roll out. And I remember just being like, well, that's not sustainable.
Ew.
And then they told me about how there's that development where all the islands are for sale.
They're dumping it over there?
They're sinking.
Oh.
Even if
Oh,
you
so
bought
you
a house
got
there, they're
poo.
sinking. So I was like, what? Sinking islands? What? Poo tower? This place ain't legit. So those people are going to bring you a 700-mile, 1-inch thick city? I doubt it. I doubt it.
Yeah, it just sounds far-fetched.
Doubt it.
Did you see New York City is sinking? 80 years, they say it'll be under, most of it will be underwater.
Fantastic
Yeah,
news.
So good for them.
Well, you know what they
Too
say.
heavy.
Fuck
Wouldn't New Orleans be gone before that, as the tragedy told us?
Yeah. New Orleans is sinking. I don't want to swim.
But I thought we were going to lose the ozone layer in the mid 80s. I was very worried about
I
it in the
did hear
early
that.
80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, hasn't it gone yet?
No, it came back.
But then why is it so hot?
Well, there's that.
Did you hear about the guy that said we should just use like 36 billion gallons of white paint to paint the world?
Yeah.
To
Why
paint,
not? Nobody's
to paint
thinking.
black streets white.
I see. So this man's suggesting we paint dirt.
so that it doesn't balance the heat so
Who does
much.
he work for?
I
Oddly
don't
enough,
know.
a big paint company.
Yeah. Big paint.
That's their
This is
answer.
Big Paint's
That's their
idea.
answer for
His
everything.
name is Sherwin, and
Paint
his
that
partner's
shit.
name is Williams.
Unbelievable.
Liam's talking about New York going underwater. Venice is drying up. They've got no water.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, speaking of Venice, can I ask you guys a question about Instagram algorithms?
Where
I go on
is that
Instagram.
knitted
Exactly.
together by?
It's the weirdest thing. So I go on Instagram and I like it. And you can always start to see a trend of like what they think you want to see. I'm getting a lot of Italian pickpocketing videos where people like confront a
strange.
pickpocketer in either Milan or Venice or Rome.
I've been seeing
And I'm
this,
like, what am I seeing this for? Like,
Have either of your boys jacked your phone lately?
no, but what would they be looking at pickpocketing
Hey,
videos
listen.
to learn how to do it?
Maybe they're trying to find a trade.
It
I remember
started
trying to
because
learn how to pickpocket when I was probably your oldest age,
the captions are all in Italian.
which they are fluent
The
in
first
Italian,
couple
your
videos,
boys.
I don't know what's going on. And I'm like, why do I keep getting these videos of somebody running at another group of people and these people run away covering their faces? I don't get it. What am I missing?
One time, my sister was going to school in Spain. Well, not one time. She went for a little while.
Yeah.
And Jay and I went to visit her, and we were standing in her little apartment looking out, and we watched a lady get pickpocketed like one story down. This guy just ran out with a knife.
Well, that's
Slit
not a
the-
pickpocket.
slit
That's
the-
a brazen robbery.
No. Cut the strap of the purse.
It's still
and
robbery.
One fluid motion just kept running.
See, a pickpocket is when you take something from somebody's bag or pocket without them noticing.
You know
I'm sure
a lot
this
about
lady saw a
pickpocketing,
knife
Chalmers.
go
Yeah.
whizzing past her shoulder
I wonder why you know so much about pickpocketing.
Yeah.
because of all the Italian pickpocketing videos I've been watching. They're like groups of people. One will like walk past and unzip the bag a
This is
little,
what we
and then
saw.
another one comes and unzips it a little bit more, and then the third person is there for the kill, and it's like
Have you tried it like on the misses though?
I just
What
started
you've
seeing it
learned?
this weekend. I'll try to pickpocket somebody today. I'm just kidding. No, I won't.
Maybe pickpocket the misses. See if you can do it.
What I do to avoid pickpockets when I'm in a high theft area
Back
is I
pockets.
tape my wallet to my you-know-what with duct tape.
Do you remember what my dad told us at Klondike Days?
And people can't get it off.
in your
I
front
swallow
seat
all my
Yep.
coins, you see.
Oh,
I
that's
would imagine.
smart.
Yeah.
Swallow all your money.
and poop them out when you got to play the game.
Yep.
You got to know what you want to buy like about an hour in advance.
Prison Pocket's got my Air Miles card, my credit card, and my ID. That's all I need.
Well, that's where I was going with it, with Venice drying up. It's the weirdest algorithm
Where will the
switch
pickpockets
ever.
go?
Where will the pickpockets
Anyone
go?
think about
From port to
if they don't have canals, there won't be tourists. If they don't have tourists, those pickpockets are up shit creek.
It does make sense. I'm following the logic here.
One, you will just pickpocket your wood from your houses.
That's a good story.
Don't.
Watch the
Please
cop
don't.
show up and be like, "What year was that?" I'm like, 1984.
We've been looking for you.
Yeah, no, you haven't.
Yep.
Look, yeah, go get the proof. Oh wait, it's already been torn
Oh
down.
wait, the whole building got burned down.
Good luck.
This all happened in the 60s.
And you know where all that waste went?
The dump.
Exactly.
No Dubai.
Full circle. Yeah, Dubai.
Where do they
I'm
take all
hung
that
up on
poo?
Yeah, I'm hung up on that.
The dump.
You can. Look, I guarantee you that is true though.
No, I believe you. I'm hung up on the details of it.
Also saw a Lamborghini police car when I was in Dubai.
Did you ever see Slumdog Millionaire where he takes a poop and then it just like goes out the pipe into the alley?
No, but I've been in Southeast Asia where I've just pooed on train tracks.
Ugh.
Like when you're in the bathroom on a train, you're looking at the tracks. Yeah. So away you go.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Gross.
Oh,
Oh, it's not great.
the more you know.
You feel the air?
I was going to say,
It's nice.
Must be.
I bet it is actually.
It is nice. A little breeze. It gives you a free tickle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's part of the train ride.
Mm-hmm.
You got to pay extra for that tickle.
Well, that's just it.
I did not
Tickle included in the
understand
ticket.
how we took for granted first world toilets until I went to Asia.
Yeah.
And I remember because I was very squeamish with that sort of thing, saying like, well, Wanya, you're either going to die or you're going to adapt. And the first bathroom I went into in Thailand was in like a tiki nightclub, because you got to. And I shut the door in the little like bathroom thing to go pee. So you can imagine it like 90 degrees to the door. I shut it, turn to go to the urinal, look over my shoulder, and there's a spider the size of a record on the back of the door. And I was like, oh,
No.
shit.
I'm dead.
And I peed.
And this
it
is
was
where
very
I go.
easy because I was terrified.
I would have passed out.
It was very scary. You got to just let it, like you got to play ball. You're on that train. What are you going to do? Not go to the bathroom for an
I
hour?
was like, just don't go.
Speaking of playing ball, we had ball this weekend and
Really? They didn't cancel it?
I ate. No, it was in Sylvan. So it was a little nicer there. Yeah, there wasn't. Yes. If it was here, it would have been canceled. Everybody that played here.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
Smoke, that is.
it is. So we had a game 9 a.m. and we had a double header and nature called and there was a bathroom and I couldn't go because somebody else was in it.
Oh,
do you ever deal with that?
It's a spider. Especially.
I'm like the guy from Shit Break. What's his name?
Yeah, Shit Break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm weird like that, but I just could not do it. There's just no way. I walked in. I'm like, okay, well, I'm just going to sweat and feel uncomfortable for the next hour and a half until I finally just drove and found a private one. I need my privacy.
I was under the impression before I went to elementary school that there was one toilet for the whole school and everybody had to like go at once. That's how I had it in my head. And I was like, I don't want to go to kindergarten and thereafter because I don't want to go to school and be told to go to the bathroom all at once. Like I thought everyone had to get up out of their desks and all go at once. And there was one toilet. That's what I thought. That's what I thought school was. I was 4 and I still remember the error of my ways.
So it's nice to have you guys on here, but where is Tyler and Jay? Were they just so...
Tyler's on vacay. He's avoiding the grind.
Yeah.
Oh, is he?
Jay is with Business Daddy.
Oh,
Doing
very
Business
nice.
Daddy
In the
things.
grind.
In the grind.
In the grind.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Tyler's gone for 2 weeks.
I have Tyler's
Is he?
truck.
Yep.
So then we get
Have the
Liam.
name.
Liam leaves when?
I leave after the show on Thursday.
You're going across the salt.
I am going, not to Venice anymore.
No, no water.
Let me just, at the
Bad
risk of
pickpocket.
dividing the room, throw an idea out.
Please.
Sure.
What if we don't bring Tyler back? What if we just email him and say,
The streets have been talking.
We've had 3 days without you. We thought you were the franchise of all of us. It turns out we don't like you. Go away.
Because we're also going to experience this podcast next week with producer Aaron running the show.
Yeah.
Which will be a much different experience than Tyler and I.
Chalmers, you want to go on a show with Frank Saravalli? You could be the new Tyler Yaremchuk.
Oh, can I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I have to start liking talking about hockey more.
Well, there's that.
The romper and all. You got
Yeah, you don't have to wear the romper.
I could make myself like talking about hockey, I guess.
Would you do the Blue Jay show?
I do like talking about baseball.
Okay. I think we've almost got him replaced.
See?
When I saw you pacing out and back and forth out there, I said to the gang here that construction looks too hard.
It's not fun.
You should just do podcasting.
I just assumed
I was here on time and had a 20-minute conversation out front.
It's too hard to do construction.
It is. It's not my favorite.
It's too hard. Whereas here, you can just say whatever you
Okay,
want.
well, ask me. I'll break down an Oiler prospect.
Xavier Bourgeau.
Okay, so Xavier Bourgeau, the thing I like about him the most is he's a great room guy, okay? He needs to work on more of his technical skill as a player. He's really good north to south, but not great east to west. And I think that it would really help him in our system.
There
So
are no teams more northern than Edmonton. So it's
how'd that
useless.
sound? Was that legit?
It's like Tyler's in the room with us.
Winnipeg, I believe, would beat us. Wouldn't they?
No, we're the most northern.
We're the most
city,
north.
aren't
We the north.
Winnipeg's not more northern than
No,
Edmonton?
we are.
We are the northern.
All right.
Yeah. That we the north thing in
Take that,
Toronto was a
Winnipeg.
misnomer.
And isn't Edmonton the most northern city in the world with a million
That's right.
population of a million?
It's true.
Yeah. Good for
I always
us.
drop that on people when they don't know where Edmonton is. I'm like, you ever heard of 1 million people, you fucking idiots? We've got that.
That makes me feel crappy.
Why?
Why is that?
I don't know.
We're the gateway to the north, son.
Mm-hmm.
We're like Winterfell.
Cool.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Who's the king of the north?
Drake.
David.
Drake.
Yeah.
Big David is the king of the
Did you
north.
see that University of Kentucky went and played at his house?
What
Drake's
for?
house?
The basketball team of University of Kentucky had a full practice at Drake's house.
Did you see that thing Drake did in Detroit? I told you I've been keeping up with my pop culture.
Yeah. You're into
And
it.
he went over the curfew. So it was like 20 grand a minute or something like that he had to pay.
You just
Every
kept
time he went
going?
over, he went for like 25
Why
minutes.
does Detroit have a curfew?
Because it's Detroit.
Yeah.
It's
Was that
hours away from anarchy.
did I know the answer to that as I was saying it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Very dangerous. So yeah, he went over.
He did that though when
It was like a couple of
he
weeks
Buy
opened
about,
Rogers Place.
according to the Google machine, to buy about $230,000 over.
When he opened
Yeah.
Rogers Place, he was like, I got to get out of here tonight by a certain time, but I ain't playing that shit. And everyone's like, Drake. So it might be just a thing.
Well, I think a few people have done it now in Detroit. But also, Eminem came out for Ed Sheeran.
I
the
saw
other
that.
day
Saw that.
And did Lose Yourself
Crazy.
Wow.
in Detroit.
Mm-hmm. If you're going to see Ed Sheeran and Eminem pops up, you're probably having a good time
Yeah.
in Detroit.
That's pretty much the place it's only going to happen.
Yeah, because he doesn't leave his house anymore, as far as I've read.
It's
No.
amazing that Eminem is as sober as he is, but as reclusive as he is. Because usually if you're sober, you're like, oh, I'm going to go do all this stuff now because I got all this energy because I'm sober. But Eminem's like, I'm sober, but I'm never leaving the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, but on Sunday, if I stayed home all day, I would have just done work around the house and not had a cocktail, but I went to a golf course. And I was like, well, when in Rome.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a cocktail.
Might as well.
So maybe that's his
drying up,
problem.
for God's sakes.
I'm
Gotta
trying to
stay
find
home.
the quote for it, but there's a hilarious quote from Eminem where it's like, if you want me to leave my house, here's the number, but I just can't find the number. It's hilarious.
He lives in like a weird old house too, hey, in Detroit. Like he doesn't live in a baller house. He lives in like a okay house.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
But like, is it like a Warren Buffett okay house where it digs down underground and then you got like
it
a...
is. I just saw a photo. There was like a why does Eminem never leave his house video on YouTube. And it was like Eminem got big, bought a house in Detroit, has never sold it. And that's where he lives. Like Dr. Dre lives on an island.
Does it bother you that Steph Curry is so good at two things now?
Did you see him get that
hole-in-one.
ace, man?
He won that tournament.
And then got the eagle to win the tournament and did the walk off.
He's
He's a god.
I mean, Eminem's
god.
house is reportedly 17,000 square feet.
But like 1996, 17.
So it's got like what, glass block?
You can't find what's interesting. I'm just digging now. There are no reported pictures from inside his house. You can get outside his house, but not inside.
And it was
the
like an old General Motors executive sold it to him, you know, because cars don't get made.
house.
in Detroit.
It's built in 96. There you have it.
There you go. You're well up
You know
on the
you're-
pop
Sometimes
culture.
you're like, why do you wear your car keys? I'm like, Eminem's house was built in 1996.
It's 17,000 square feet.
You won't believe
He
it.
bought
but
it from a GM exec.
Yep, who, you know, cars were leaving Detroit. No, I said, where are your car keys? And turns out you're a police officer. I have no car and I'm naked on Jasper Avenue again.
No, I did not steal the wood in 1984. It was somebody else.
Did you,
84?
That's what you said.
did you see on Yegwave?
I was 4 years
CNN,
old in 84.
Yes.
Someone was driving around shooting at cars.
I did see
And they had
that,
to
yes.
catch them out in Devon.
Yes, I did see that. And then they were hauling ass out to Devon,
Why
by the
isn't
way.
your wife telling me this terrible news on the news? Why is Yegwave only telling us the terrible news?
She told, because you're not up at 5 in the morning.
Well, there is that. But I feel like there's much worse
big part
news
of
on
it is that.
Yegwave than there is on the news.
Well, they showed like the salacious shit on Yegwave.
Yeah.
Did they get like, well, that's probably a better question for your wife, but I assume you know everything she knows. Did they get like a list of things they could talk about, then they eyeball it and pull 3, or how does it work?
I don't, like on her actual show?
Yeah, like she's the anchor. She writes up a lot of the stuff because you were saying the people don't do a good job during the night.
No, Jesus.
I'm just kidding. But you said she writes a lot of her own shit, right?
Yes,
Does
she does.
decide what stories lead?
Yes. No, she doesn't. They have a news desk
director.
for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like,
They determine the rundown. They
whose
would call
fault
it.
is it that the news doesn't report something crazy like Yegwave? Whose fault is this? Who am I mad at?
The people who need to.
CRTC
I don't know. How would I know that? I honestly don't know that.
Because I watch
Do
the Edmonton news and I'm like, everything's fine. And then I look at Yegwave and I'm like, everything is not fine. We are hours from collapse.
Yeah, people getting their
Who am I mad at?
fingers bitten off.
I
shooting out
guess
windows.
if I was going to say my opinion on this, it would be that stooping down to like salacious videos, like a TMZ type of thing, would not follow the criteria of typical traditional news.
What about a shooting?
And
in an Audi, which was upmarket, I thought. Somebody's driving around in an Audi shooting.
I'm pretty sure they had that story, and they run some videos that's pretty, I don't know. I don't really know. So I don't think I should be talking about
in
this
TV.
stuff.
I feel like, you know what? No. We don't want to just show chaos and stuff. They're like, let's mix in a story about biogenetical research. And
Well, they're not Inside Edition. Doesn't it feel like Yagwave is like the Inside Edition of news?
They seem to me to
It is where I saw that horse piss video.
I was waiting for you to bring this up.
Yeah.
What was
Like
that?
that's not news.
What do you mean?
What?
A man drinking pee from a horse.
No, he
at the
will
counter
not.
Stampede.
No, he will not.
Yeah.
Oh no, Trampede's been upped. Remember Trampede?
Of course.
That's way worse.
How about the guy who scooped up a little thing from a puddle?
Yeah, that's no good.
Inside the Cowboys tent.
Yeah.
Scooped
Okay,
up
see, I
puddle.
don't expect Aaron to talk about that type of shit, but like 3 cars getting capped at on.
I'm
where I
sure
go to
that
get
was
McDonald's.
a story on Global. I just don't think they put it out on like as its standalone like Instagram post.
You know those huge jeans at Southgate Mall that just stand on their own outside, like it's like art. You know the big pants. I think it's shoes, pants. Anyways, one time I was there and there must have been 1,000 police cars there. And I was like, holy shit, something's gone down. And I drove home to watch the news to see what it was. Nothing was.
And
Go to
that's why you
Instagram.
started Big
Yagwave will
Wave.
tell you.
Yeah, of course it will. Anyway,
Did you see any Yagwave cameras there?
everybody, that's what's amazing about
It's 'cause
Yegwave.
every camera's a
Everybody
Yegwave.
is
We
a
are
Yegwave
all
camera.
Yegwave.
Well-
Now they've hit that tipping point where no matter what happens, someone sends it to them.
You're right.
That's cool.
The death of journalism. No, just kidding. I don't.
It is the death of journalism. You
I
guys say. Go
don't
ahead,
know.
Chalmers. Ready to get rant against it.
No, I don't. I'm not ranting against it.
So that when this
I
clip
feel
goes
like-
on Instagram, we're not
Yeah,
in trouble again.
right.
Crowdsourced news in Edmonton, ignoring the fact there's no editorial content, like no one's giving commentary, but that's actually like good news. Like not in the sense that it's giving good.
Well,
news,
then
but just,
Global
like,
will
good
have that.
coverage.
If it's good news.
If Global's
Just
Instagram account was like, if you see news, tell us and we'll re-Instagram it. I bet you they would get all sorts of crazy shit.
Probably. Okay, so here, my opinion, WestJet and Air Canada, both airlines, both have the same problems. They lose bags. They do this stuff, right? They get bad press, bad publicity. WestJet has a PR team that literally just sits out front of it and makes and tells all the good stories that they do. So they have good PR. Air Canada doesn't play that game, even though they give what could be, I don't know the stats of it, but way more to like charities. They do more for people, but they don't publicize it. Do you know what I mean? So is that a problem? Yeah.
I think WestJet's probably doing a better job.
Yeah. I think so too.
Back to those shoes at the mall.
I don't know where we're going with this.
Yeah, they're shoes. They're like
You guys are okay. You
Is
guys
it
are
socks.
pants? What is it? What am I looking at
Shoes,
again?
socks.
I have no idea what you're
Southgate
referring
Mall.
to.
There must have been 100 cops that day.
Yeah, yeah.
What am I looking at? Show us that, not that guy drinking whiz for crying out loud.
Listen, that's more my speed.
That is
Hang-
unbelievable.
Hang on.
I think
got-
the pandemic's over. People are electing to drink urine from police horses. I
shoes
think
and socks.
there it is.
When did those get there?
Well, there was a
Southgate
huge
Mall.
giant
Wow.
once, and they left them behind.
Yeah, they just chop the legs off.
They said,
Somebody explain
And
to
then we
me
harvested the meteor.
how much money those cost.
people rag on the talus balls, but they don't really shit on those legs enough. You know what I mean? That's way
How
dumber.
much? Big legs. So
That was paid for by Southgate, though.
Careful what you're Googling.
The mall paid for the legs.
Okay, then maybe we'll.
They are 20 feet tall.
Yep.
Okay.
The shoes are 13 feet long.
Okay.
And
And we're
Are
reportedly
they
worth
real? Would be my
no
first question.
cost. I get no cost. 7,600 bricks. Like,
It's not your
wonder how
business
much they
because Southgate
cost.
paid for
they're
it.
bricks.
yeah, they're bricks.
So it's a privately owned pair of shoes and socks
And legs.
and like, sorry.
Tired commuters are welcomed and encouraged to sit on the shoes. So next time you're at Southgate, pop a squat, why don't you?
Never. It's the stupidest waste of money.
But like most art is stupid if you say it, if you describe it in like a skeptical voice. You're like, oh yeah, you go to the Louvre and there's just a lady there, hey, with Mona Lisa, we're just sitting there going, eh.
You could go to Little Brick and see the exact same one. She's holding a coffee. I saw it this morning.
What do you mean?
They have a Mona Lisa now in Little Brick, but she's holding a coffee.
That's cool.
Yeah. So there you have it.
Do we have giant legs?
That's what's next.
Maybe that can be like the entrance. You know, instead of going through the gate, it's just a massive giant
Cool.
legs.
That's the hipster way.
13 feet tall.
Only if you can sit on them.
Yeah, that can be
provided that you need a rest.
I mean, thank God they serve a purpose that you can sit on them.
I can't
Thank
find how
God.
much these babies cost. Southgate just does not want me to know.
Remember that guy who got caught in the tennis balls?
Yeah.
Remember that guy? How much would you pay to punch him in the face? Be honest. $25? I would.
$25? Sure.
The money went to
25,
charity.
yeah.
I'd pay 50.
Sure. Oh,
Clock him right in the grill.
charity? Oh yeah.
I just know that when I drive by those tennis balls, I'm just like, thank God they're there.
I'm
Because
annoyed
I was
now that-
unhappy 5 seconds ago.
But
And
it's
now
art.
I saw the tennis balls and boy, has my day turned around.
I'm more
Piece of
annoyed that the
public art
fence
do
is
you
still
like,
there.
Chalmers, is there any public art?
How about the big bat on 97th
bat.
Street?
No,
You could spin it around if you like.
no, you can't.
We
Yes,
see
you
it
can.
feels
Yes, you can.
dangerous.
The bat is ridiculous.
Do you like the big mural on White Ave?
That's a painted mural. That's
Okuda
nice.
art? Do you like that, though?
Yes.
Okay.
There's also a mural like
that
next
guy's
to the
legit,
Pink Gorilla Pizza on right off of 109th Street. I think that's
How about
fantastic.
on Jasper,
that
the big
adds
Edmonton
character.
hand thing?
I'm a big
That's
advocate.
atmosphere.
I like public art.
I like
think it
public art
adds
too.
a lot. I think that thing on White Ave is brilliant. I think it makes the whole area red.
I think it looks cool. You know what I don't like though? The big misshapen egg behind Rogers' place. I don't understand that one.
It's
Oh, it looks kind of like a tree sometimes.
It's weird. I don't like that one. I do like Bob and Doug McKenzie though.
That's cool.
I feel like the Oilers revealing that when they did, like at the height of the lockdowns and shit, was so sad because the timing would have been like right about playoffs, and they're just gonna all of a sudden there's a statue there. That's
Except
cool.
walking at night, you think that there's people sitting there
All the
and
time.
it's terrifying sometimes. And they're like, oh, wait, no, just Bob and Doug. They're just chilling.
That's like the least scary of your options down
I
there.
know,
It's like, oh,
exactly.
yeah.
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 Well,
When did you guys start this thing?
On time.
51 minutes ago.
Well, I wasn't that late then.
No, you weren't at all.
Good. What else we got to hit on?
you know what happened with the little brick tree that I asked Chalmers to help me clip?
Yeah, you guys just didn't do it.
I said I don't feel like
We
it.
sat downstairs and had a beer. Hey, I was fully ready.
Finally,
and he's
Chalmers
like,
is
we don't have to do
I'm
this.
like, you know what, Chalmers? I don't fucking care.
And I was
How
like,
does that sound?
sounds
today.
good.
The little
Let's
brick
have
tree has a disease.
2 beers.
Yeah. So, anyways, the tree at Little Brick is still riddled with disease.
I did. I admired it this morning.
Did it have it? Could you see?
Yeah, it's got that poo fungus on it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I don't think cutting down a few branches is going to stop that from happening.
I gotta get rid of that tree, man.
Do you have to get rid of the whole tree, or does that just be the
clip it
branches?
back. Just clip it back.
Can you make it into public art?
No, but there is some art stuff at Little Brick. There's little weirdo things. Somebody made a little brick door
Oh, what?
and like lashed it to a tree one day. It's really cool.
Oh, that's
like
cool.
the Yegg Fairy Garden or something on Instagram.
Oh, that's
Pretty neat.
cute.
Yeah.
I love that.
There's little funny things like
Yeah,
that.
I like that.
Little jokes.
Back to you though. Which public art do you like?
I mean, I don't know. You'd have to give me a list of them.
What about that big thing and this is not in Edmonton, in Chicago? Do you know that random bowl thing
Yeah.
they have?
The one big ball.
Yeah.
How about that big ball in Vegas? I want to see that baby.
I want to go
yeah.
inside of that
Yeah.
thing.
Did
That
you like
thing
it when
looks
they made Silver
crazy.
City look like an Egyptian pyramid at the mall? That was pretty cool.
I missed the
Silver
dragon.
City.
Bring
Oh,
back the
yeah.
dragon.
Yeah, that was
Remember
great.
It was a pyramid. They're like,
Yeah.
ta-da.
Liam, are you talking about the bean?
I
It's
like
called the beat.
the giant
bean and-
Pasanka
Yeah,
in,
yeah.
where's that?
big
Nagerville?
Are you a
Niagara,
fan of
yes.
roadside
Yeah.
attractions then?
Yes.
What's your favorite one? Tyler and I were thinking about doing this summer and seeing places, and we both decided just to take the entire summer off, so we won't be able to now.
Oh.
I'm a
Roadside
fan of
attractions.
the
Roadside
Mallet
attractions are
and
good.
Andrew.
You ever been
Yeah,
to
yeah.
the Gopher Museum?
I went to the UFO one.
Gopher Museum.
St.
Yeah.
Paul. Yeah.
It was very underwhelming.
Yeah, I know UFOs.
I brought Wanye Jr. there and he was a flea. And I was like, this is where actual UFOs landed, but his eyes couldn't focus yet. So I think I got away with it. I'm like, it's amazing. It's Las Vegas.
I went to one with a bunch of World War I planes.
That's cool.
I don't remember where that was.
World War
And you got
I.
to get in it, and you could crawl in like the nose, and then you exited out the butt. So like you got ate by the plane and then pooped out by the plane, but you got to go through the whole thing.
Is this a dream?
It is claustrophobic. Oh, speaking of claustrophobic, I saw a clip.
The Spruce Goose Space Museum. Is that where you went?
Where was it? Where is that?
Oregon?
No, it was somewhere between here and Phoenix, and I couldn't begin to tell you where.
That's the only one I can
There
find.
was a clip on Instagram where a little boy, his sister locked him in a gun safe at a Cabela's.
Oh, no.
Oh my God.
What?
And I mean, I'm having a nightmare about it right now. I don't know. So they had to like have the fire
Why didn't they have keys to open
department
said gun safe?
and they had to like grind the
Oh, man.
the hinges off. I don't know, man. That's a nightmare. I'm going to have a nightmare about that tonight.
I don't understand why they didn't have the keys.
I don't know either. That's what I was wondering. Like, who doesn't have the code?
Something's
Maybe it
gone
wasn't
wrong at this
locked.
point.
Yeah,
It was like a
something gone
legit big gun safe. Like the kid could have walked around inside of it. It was so big, but still.
Thank God.
How can
Americans
you
are
make
so
those things
militant.
lockable in your store?
That's a good thing that
That store's going to
all my guns, I just hold out my car on Instagram Live. That's what
Like Jaw.
Yeah.
that's all I want.
It's amazing that the John Morant scandal has been wiped clean by the Zion Williams scandal.
Oh my goodness.
This chickie.
He decided to pick on the crazy hot metrics some very crazy women.
Did you see that lady has made more tweets about Zion and he's had games played in the NBA?
Oh dear. Did she get a face tattoo?
She got a
of Zion?
face tattoo
Yeah,
of him.
Zion.
That's
Yeah.
not a good sign.
No.
I mean, I think
little crazy.
What could go wrong, really?
At this point, maybe it's worth making it work with her because what more crazy could she do when she's done every single crazy thing a person can do?
And you got to respect that she'd be a committed partner.
Oh yeah.
A bit
No.
unforgiving,
Yep.
but you
Hey,
know,
it's good to feel wanted.
poor Zion. He's getting traded over this.
Well,
I think this is the point.
What?
Well, a team's not going to want this. Remember when we talked about like players that just they create havoc so that the teams have to trade them?
I don't know. New Orleans might want this. They stink and they need relevancy, and Zion Williams will bring it.
He
to
can
them.
come play with John Morant.
How do you know he'll bring it to him? Prove it. How many
Because
games
he's
he
their
played?
best player, and he's played like 100 games, and he's the most popular player on that team.
Over
Yeah,
under
yeah.
100 games. I'm going to say under.
What do you think about Wemby's big arms and legs? My God in heaven. Did you see him dunk without
You on
even
it?
jumping?
Without jumping?
Yeah.
No, I did not.
They were showing like just practice in San Antonio and he basically just went like this and dunked.
I've just seen bad Wemby highlights, which is expected.
Well, his first game of Summer League, he was a bit off.
Yeah.
But
did
night
you-
two was unbelievable.
Did you see when he was doing that 3-point, like
Every guess correct so far.
What's it called?
I nailed that one today.
9 for 9.
9 for 9, first ever.
They were doing the photo shoot, and he was like taking threes.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
missed
missing.
6 in a row. And he's like, oh
But
boy.
think about like that poor guy. First of all, he's 42 feet tall.
Yes.
And now he's got this Britney drama and he's come to the States and like it's so scary. Imagine Connor
Like, I just
Bedard.
got drafted first overall. Now Britney Spears hates him.
Imagine like Connor Bedard was at dinner and like Beyonce punched him in the face or something. Like basically that's what's going on for Wemby
Did
right
you see
now.
the video
Of Britney?
of Brittany getting punched?
Of course I did.
Yeah.
I was right in the middle of that. I felt like
Have you heard?
Making a comeback.
poor Britney.
Have you heard? Speaking of
doing
pop
something.
culture, pop culture, I guess it is. Jay-Z tells a story on like the barbershop about DMX and how he learned how to learned how to make his concert shows so good from being at that DMX concert. But it's not the story that I take anything away from. I think Jay-Z's voice has changed. Have you noticed that? Have you heard him talk?
Interesting.
It's like way higher now. Like it's like
Oh,
kind of going
really?
like
Is he in
the Michael
falsetto?
Jackson way. What? He's not so deep anymore. It was shocking. But he tells a story basically about how he was like DMX. All of a sudden you hear that like don't, and it was like don't, and then you hear the barks.
He said that like DMX would start his show with a prayer and end it with a prayer. People were like crying,
Yeah,
and
he's
then he
like-
had to come out after his Jay-Z.
Yeah.
He's like, I need to up my game because
Yeah,
DMX.
that's
is
what he
everything
learned. That's what
crying.
he learned from him. But that was in the story. I just couldn't help but think Jay-Z's voices.
Did you see that Jay-Z's
Different.
mom got married? And she looks like Jay-Z's face is welded on a woman of about 70. It's wild how much Jay-Z's mom looks like Jay-Z. I was like,
It's wild how much Troy Aikman looks like Jay-Z.
I was like, geez, that is
She does look like
Jay-Z's
Jay-Z.
mom. Turn that around instead
Gloria,
of a horse.
hang on, I gotta find a good one. Gloria Carter.
Gloria Carter.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Could be anybody.
Yeah. Look at this. In her pantsuit at the wedding, she looked very Jay-Z.
Come on.
Look at Troy Aikman and Jay-Z.
That's surprising.
Yeah, look at that.
What on earth?
Oh my God.
Oh my god.
God just ran out of faces. And he's like, whatever,
that.
Is that
make a
the
boy one.
Left to the right.
That's wild.
That is
Oh, that's crazy.
weird.
Yeah.
Bit uncomfortable.
That is strange. Make one white and make one black. Now make them good at things. Now go.
Off into the world.
That's incredible. Do you know who Joel Osteen is?
Yeah, that preacher.
He's dead now, isn't he?
You know
What?
those? No, he's not.
Or no,
dead.
that was a different one that died.
I saw a caption. It was like Joel
Thinking of Stalin.
Osteen. Joel Osteen looks like Martin Short trying to become Tim Allen.
He does look like Martin Short becoming a
I absolutely love when people nail those.
Oh, that's funny. That guy makes money. Yeah.
Go search Joel Osteen.
He
built himself a legit amphitheater, like a.
It was an NBA arena. It was the old Houston Rockets arena in Houston.
Seats like 80,000 or something.
No, it was
60,000.
an old NBA arena.
Right.
He bought it. It'd
And
be
he
like if
sells
bought
it out.
Rexall. Yeah.
Every Sunday.
And it's all on TV. And that's where he makes most of his money. Yowza. And he's a church.
He is the real life Righteous Gemstones.
Believable.
Guaranteed.
He's very persuasive.
Want to take a guess at Joel Osteen's celebrity net worth?
370 million.
Oh God, it's 500 million.
See, celebrity net worth only says a cool 100 milli.
Oh.
I feel like he's got hidden money in gun safes in Cabela.
Without question.
And he
I
keeps
feel
them
like
in the
maybe
Cabela.
he
It's an army of
doesn't
children locked in there
divulge
to
how
guard
much
it.
he actually has.
Yeah, there's a lot of cash transactions.
Maybe that might be a problem with his supporters.
If we had registered the nation as a church, we wouldn't have paid a nickel in tax.
Yes, we should have.
We would all be preachers.
Mhm.
Men and women of the cloth.
We call him McJesus.
Now we would pay no tax.
Yep.
We could be in the old hockey arena here.
Could be.
We could be having sermons.
Did you guys see
Should
the
be.
picture of Connor and Darnell getting down at the wedding?
I love it.
And in the back is Vander Kane. Being like, I just want to be like that with Connor.
No.
I want to party with Connor like that.
Did Bieber not go to the Barry wedding and this was just a rumor I was tricked by online?
Okay, I saw the same rumor because I heard that Bieber and Ryan Reynolds were both invited.
I saw Bieber and Ryan Reynolds also.
But there isn't
When did
a
Tyson
single
Berry
photo.
become the
There's
most
no-
popular guy in the NHL?
Because Bieber makes sense because the time in
They played
Toronto,
Toronto.
I
I
can
could
figure
see
it. I can
Right,
figure it. But now fucking Deadpool's there too.
But there's no
Based
way
on
that would
Vancouver.
happen without a photo.
No, like I think they were invited, but I don't think that they actually came. That's just who. But like they call Tyson Berry the most well-connected man in hockey.
That's what Hyman called him.
Yeah. So he's got.
I can believe it. He wears those wide-brimmed hats. People love those guys.
Well, he's got the Lumineers connection too.
What's that?
So they're a band, like a folk band.
Yeah.
And so they released a Christmas song.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that song.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Yeah. They released a Christmas song last December, and Tyson Berry and his whole family are on the backtrack of it. So they do like the little chorus, like the choir singing in the background.
Tyson Berry sings in a song.
He doesn't say, it's like him and his whole family.
How can we trade away a guy like that? Oh, wait.
I'm very sensitive about it.
Did you hear Cam McDavid say that one time Connor made a whole song in GarageBand on his laptop and that he had it on his phone for 3 years? Because like
McDavid
Connor
on-
made a techno song and Connor was like so embarrassed.
Connor
And then
had it or Cam had it?
Connor made it.
Oh.
And he goes, this was on Oilers Nation's Instagram account. I saw this. I would think we would all be well versed.
I would love to hear that.
Then I yelled in the comments, hey Cam, give us that song. We'll make it go #1. And he liked the comment.
And did you follow up?
Well, he says he doesn't have it anymore.
Oh,
He said he
It's
had
somewhere.
it on his phone for years. And then Connor was all like embarrassed while he was talking to him.
remake it.
I want to
Cam.
hear that
Fine.
song.
I guarantee that laptop is part of the shrine at the McDavid basement.
They're like,
We need
oh,
it.
sorry, we only keep Connor stuff. We threw Cam's laptop out. Come on, Mom. All my school stuff was on there.
Didn't the Gretzky's put us on their Instagram story yesterday?
Yes. Yeah, Janet
What?
did. Janet
It was
did.
their anniversary.
Oh,
35 years.
35 years, eh?
Man, that wedding.
Mhm.
I respect the fact they got married in Edmonton. That's amazing.
Yeah.
He was in a Rolls Royce, even back then. Remember Wayne Gretzky, Chalmers?
No, never heard of her.
Pretty good player.
Did a couple of things right, Chalmers.
Yeah, he did.
Couple of things right. Just like you could too, provided that you were 19 plus and could do so responsible with our friends at Betway.
Yeah.
You want to bet on snooker? You can. Virtual sports, volleyball, table tennis, rugby union, rugby league, politics, paddle tennis. What's paddle tennis? Is that ping pong?
Ping pong.
Motorsport, horse racing, handball, greyhounds, Gaelic sports. Come on.
They got everything.
Whatever you need.
Are
You can even take a trip over to the casino, play some table games, some slots.
Sure.
Why not?
Betway.com. Provided that you are 19 plus and can do so responsibly. Thank you.
Are you going to bet on Daniel Ricciardo this weekend?
Ooh, maybe just a little sprinkle.
Who's he? What sport?
So
F1.
F1 is very cutthroat.
The same guy wins every race. What
That
are you
is true.
talking
That is
about?
true.
That is true. But what is cutthroat is they will fire drivers mid-season. And
Who did he take? Whose spot did he take?
Nick DeVries.
No,
Grant
never heard of
DeVries,
him.
former Oiler?
Yeah. His brother.
Just trying to make this interesting for myself, Kennedy. I'm imagining 90s Oilers driving race cars. Greg DeVries.
10 races.
Well, they used to do that shit. Like, we need to get back to the point where we're having, what's his name, fight Muhammad Ali, Dave Semenko.
Do you remember, Chalmers, in the old arena the year that the intro was all the Oilers at the racetrack and like Smitty was in a Thunderbird and George LaRocque was racing and they all raced each other? Do you remember how good the intros used to be for Oilers games?
When they did stuff off the ice.
When they tried.
It's because they all lived here in the summer, so they could do those videos.
Yeah.
You know who used to love the racetrack? Glenn Anderson. Big racetrack guy.
Who doesn't enjoy Zoom every now and then? You know?
I wasn't meaning that they were gambling. They had like this slickly.
And he was at the ponies.
Oil Derek
anyways.
would come down from the roof. Man,
Sure.
it's so exciting.
It's
just
July. Relax about hockey already.
What? I can get amped up at the drop of a hat about the Oilers. I don't need any of them.
Well, then go to Puckdoku. There's an Oilers column.
A layup today.
I only did my
9 for
first
9
4
today?
guesses, and I am not quite done yet.
I went 9 for 9 today.
I did 9 for 9 today. First time ever.
I think
was
I
very
had
pumped.
132 uniqueness.
I mean,
Mine
one
was
is pretty
110
easy.
uniqueness.
The unique column is goalies.
That one was the layup for me.
Yeah.
It's always easy when they put expansion teams in. Like Seattle and Vegas have both been in the last week. And it's like, okay, well,
It's a good game.
those are layups.
Kennedy, remember when we made that video of me knowing all the Oilers on all the different teams and you were like, Wanye, you know everything about everything. You're so great.
Yeah.
Why didn't you put that video out? I was really looking forward to everybody saying, oh, Wanye, you're so smart. What
I don't
do you
even
look like?
remember
We
what
need to
video you're
know."
talking about.
What?
I don't even remember what you're talking about.
We went in the little room and it was when you were like, what player went this.
Because I fumbled the game and I messed up and I had the wrong date and the wrong thing. I got to do more of
Does
those.
it have to play again?
It was good fun. I knew the answer. That's why.
Yes, I
Those
know.
are so
I made
hard.
it too easy. You and Koom got it like bang on. That's why I was like, I gotta re-strategize here.
There's very little video of me looking intelligent. Most of it's just me, various stages of arrest.
Okay, I'll make another one.
Fantastic.
We'll do it in the next couple weeks here.
Those make me feel so dumb.
I mean, this is for some reason because it's Oilers. I actually know the answers. Why do you think Gretzky played for St. Louis?
Why?
What was that all about?
It's the
Try to win a cup.
Gretzky.
He's only there for like 30 games.
Took the C away from Shane Corson.
That's a deserved.
Understood.
He looked great in the gloves, the stick. It all looked.
Those were good Blues uniforms.
They looked great.
Mm-hmm.
Gretzky looked great when he retired too. They were showing some of that the other day, and his
He
dad
was still pretty productive too.
He drove his dad to his final game because his dad always drove him to minor hockey.
When was his last game? Like, what year? 99. Okay.
His last season was 98-99 with the Rangers. 70 games played, 9 goals, 53 assists for 62 points.
Do you think that was planned?
That was his.
Ended in 99 for 99.
It makes sense.
Probably.
It makes sense. It
Poetic.
was his only season, really.
You think Connor will play till
I was
2097?
just going to say, I think we've got Connor for a while then.
2097, and then Leon plays the same time because it's the same numbers.
Leon retires in 5 years.
I had a dream about Connor McBaby 5 years ago. And it was like Prince William coming out with baby George, and it was Connor. And in the dream, I was like squinting so hard to see the baby because I wanted to see the face of Connor McBaby, but it was all blurry, because it was a dream.
Because you don't know the face of the baby yet.
Yeah.
So you got binoculars.
Exactly.
Maybe you were the baby.
Oh my God.
This baby's going to be good at something. I promise you.
The middle name will be Wanye.
When you think about, have you seen the footage of Tiger talking about Charlie on the driving range recently?
No.
So Tiger Woods' son Charlie's like a golf phenom.
Yeah, he's going to be
Someone's
unbelievable.
Talking to Tiger.
He's not out driving him yet. I think. Are you talking about the Colin Morikawa and him talking about whether or not
And
Charlie's
he's like,
driving him?
he thinks he's going to be better than me when he's 14. Good luck. And he goes back to hitting. But you're thinking this 14-year-old kid's going to be better than the all-time best golfer of all time by the age of 14. And he doesn't have Earl driving around in a bus. He's got Tiger with $800 million and a putting green on the roof of their house. This kid is going to be good.
Yeah.
Who's going to be better, him or Bronny James?
At their sport?
Yeah.
Oh, Charlie Woods.
Yeah.
Bronny James is like...
He's third overall pick. They think he'll be good.
He won't go that high.
He won't go that high.
I was reading that the other day. They thought maybe.
I think he might be like a
I think John Daly's kid will be better at golf than Bronny is at hockey.
John Daly Jr.?
There's a tournament where the Woods and the Dalys, and it's like a father-son, and the Dalys and the Woods go head-to-head every year.
You talk about Instagram algorithms. If mine ever starts kicking out John Daly content, I am so happy because he is an absolute unit. I love that guy.
He's funny.
His big beard now, golf's no shoes on with a dart in his mouth. I fucking love it.
I would love it if Charlie Woods was a legend. That'd be so cool, man. Nike's just like, what will it take, Charlie?
I've heard this story. I've heard this story a bunch, but there's one story where John Daly's, I don't know if I've ever told it, but John Daly's sitting at the bar after the third round of a tournament and he's having a drink and Tiger's like walking past him. He goes, Tiger, have a drink. And he goes, no, I'm going to the range. And then like 2 hours later, it's like 10 o'clock at night and Tiger's walking back there and he goes, okay, you ready for that drink? Let's have a drink. And Tiger goes, no, I got to go to the putting green. He puts the light out and he putts till like midnight. And now it's like midnight, 1 o'clock and Tiger comes back and has to walk through the lobby bar again. And John Daly's like, Tiger, have this drink with me. And Tiger's like, John, I'm not having a drink with you because I wouldn't have to practice if I had half the talent that you have. But I don't. Daly? But I don't. So I've got to go practice. Have a good night, John. And John was like, oh. And then ended up like, I think that was the night where he gets plastered up against like some football players were there. And he like gets into a conversation with them about him being able to block them. And they like tattoo him into a wall. And like at 4 a.m, he's sitting there with like no shoes on, his belt's like off. And he still
Didn't
goes
he go in the morning and beat Tiger though?
In that tournament? I don't know.
I thought the end of that story was then he got up in the morning and beat Tiger.
Well, so maybe those weren't the same 2 nights then, but I think after the end of that story where
I think
he
John
actually
Daly's
says
has
to
a
him,
lot of nights like
yeah,
this.
I think he did actually go beat Tiger after that night.
Speaking of football, you watching quarterback yet?
No, but I saw the preview for it.
It's so good.
Is it?
How long are the episodes?
Awesome.
40 minutes maybe?
Yeah, 40,
It's
45
4?
minutes.
I think so.
4 or 5, something like
Because
that.
that counts out half my flight.
It's funny though, because when I watched it, it was like I was a visitor to Earth. I didn't know any of the players on either team. They're like, you remember this game.
So who do you like just from it?
That goober guy, the Kirk Cousins that always wears necklaces.
He just seems so nice.
Well, and he's like a hapless dude. Like he's like, well, no one likes me, but I guess I'm just going to smile.
And my wife dresses me for all my photos.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not that people don't like him. It's that he constantly gets paid and paid, guaranteed money, paid and paid and paid.
See how hard he works in this show,
doesn't-
Chalmers? He's worth every penny. Every.
I don't think, has he ever won a playoff game?
His wife seems
I don't know about
I think
football.
he has. I think he's won like one.
Yeah, because they went to the...
I was watching this show and I
finals.
was asked by somebody in the room, do you know who won the Super Bowl last year? And I looked at them and said, I do not. Because I do not. Because who cares?
Kirk Cousins is lucky. He's on such a domino effect because he was the backup quarterback to RG3.
Do you know every sport?
Just not hockey.
Oh. Xavier Bourgeau.
Kirk Cousins has played in 5 playoff games.
What's his record?
1-4.
We did it.
Did you see he's never won a prime time game?
Remember he was wearing all the necklaces on the plane last year? That's all I knew about him.
I just think he's very Ned Flanders.
Yes.
You haven't seen the You Like That video? Wanye?
No. Oh, yeah. When they
Yeah.
the biggest comeback ever with the Commanders.
Something like
It was
that,
the most personality he shows in this docuseries.
So for a 1-4 record in the playoffs over 11 seasons, Kirk Cousins has made $131,496,000.
What's the problem be?
What? Yeah. What? Well deserved, I say.
Yeah, he's just
Aren't you
he's
a
the face.
Cardinals
He's
fan,
the
Chalmers?
face of mediocrity.
Chalmers,
Let's put it that way.
aren't you a Cardinals
But he gets paid as if he's like the franchise quarterback. So it kind of bugs me.
I'm learning,
but I like
about
him.
football. I don't like what I'm seeing down in Arizona. I don't see a lot of wins.
No, me neither,
I
buddy.
see a lot of excuses.
I see a lot of tough games coming ahead for this season.
I didn't know. I knew like the social side about Patrick Mahomes and his brother and his wife or whatever.
Boy, that brother's a piece of work. I hope he gets a show on.
I'm waiting for him to appear on the show.
Yeah.
Isn't he going to jail?
Yep.
His wife's a lot too.
Hey,
Smooching.
what? Speaking of smooching, why are the Island Boys smooching each other?
That's a good question.
That is a very good question.
Guys,
I thought they were brothers.
They are brothers.
Our brothers.
What? Okay, we can just end that conversation.
Do you know that
right
Steve
then
is
and
getting
there.
breast implants for his next tour?
Okay, are we done?
He is. It's called the
are we
You've
doing?
Gone Too Far tour, and he's getting boobs installed.
Major key alert.
You know this.
What
I
an
do know this.
idiot,
know this?
I do know
Steve-O.
this. Yes, the Island Boys, they did kiss.
Yeah, and they said that they have no feelings for each other.
Yeah, it wasn't romantic.
That was on TMZ.
It looked pretty fucking romantic to me.
But like
Imagine
Wanya,
being that hard up for clout.
I think you nailed it when you're like, We need some money. Well, what are we going to do?
Yeah, we should kiss. How would that fix anything? I don't know. I imagine that's how they talk to each other.
Oh my God.
Did you see when they went on the Impulsive show?
What are we doing?
And Logan Paul's like, maybe you should like keep track of your money, and they just spazzed at him and left. I knew they would eventually kiss for money. I knew then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Sometimes you got to.
I don't need TMZ. I just need this podcast. Holy.
It's too much. It's too much bad stuff. Can we?
One drop after another.
The important part about this is that Fly Soldier
he's the leader.
Claims they have no sexual chemistry.
Fly Soldier.
They're brothers.
Yeah.
Why does that have to be a sentence?
Yeah.
It's like, it is a passionate kiss, dude.
It is. I was
They really go
uncomfortable
for it.
watching it.
I'm uncomfortable thinking about it.
Yeah, and yet you brought it up. We have
I brought it up because I couldn't
want to.
fucking believe what I'd seen.
Well, you
One
walked
of them
right
really
into our
goes
wheelhouse inadvertently.
Oh my goodness.
Like season 2 through 6 of this show was just me and Bagmill talking about this one guy named Daddy Longneck on the internet. We wouldn't even bring up
Got
the
a bunch of
Oilers.
sweet face tattoos now.
For weeks on end, we wouldn't even mention hockey.
Fucking right.
That is Daddy Longneck. What's his name? Daddy Longneck, right?
Yeah.
His little posse is
Oh my God.
special group of
Thick neck.
people. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the watermelon guy. You see him ever?
I've seen them all.
Oh
They are-
boy. The Avengers. Where is watermelon guy these days?
You know, it's hard to say.
It's hard to say.
The Avengers.
He's probably kissing the Island Boys.
I'm surprised the Island Boys aren't in that group.
They wish they were in that group. That's the Mensa of meme people, that group.
Daddy Longneck. Holy fuck.
Fly Soldier says they put up the clip because they want to see how fucked up the world is.
Yeah.
They are maybe one of the biggest contributors to that.
Right now, there's twins, Chalmers, getting face tattoos, wishing they were the Island Boys so they could kiss. Think about that next level of mayhem. It's unbelievable.
Well, he points out that the attention they've been getting isn't at all the same response to his community outreach. So, when he and his brother kiss gets more attention than when he's donating to charity.
I gotta go.
They remain Island Boys.
I've been instructed to make a logo for this podcast.
For the
and I
Island
thought,
Boys?
no,
For the one for today?
I thought making my debut on here would help me in my creative journey. And now I'm even more
Now you're just more confused. Yeah, no, I can see that.
Could be
Oh my
the
God.
Island Boys kissing.
Yeah.
With the big shoes.
Yes.
From
a logo
Southgate.
every episode.
Just make one
With
of
the
the
Connor
shoes, one of the
McBaby.
Island Boys, and then the other shoes, the other Island Boy kissing. That's the logo.
But if you
makes
really
sense.
want to go deep, have somebody sitting on it. Like, who did we talk about earlier?
Well,
Reed Schaefer?
The baby,
Put Troy
Connor's
Aikman
baby?
sitting on one and Jay-Z sitting on the other one.
And if you can do an animation, just do water levels dropping.
Can you do a face smash
And
of
also
Connor and
rising.
Lauren?
So now my next 2 weeks are booked up.
Can you estimate what Connor McBaby will look like using technology?
listen, Chalmers, you're overreacting. Fly Soldier
Probably.
said, we're both straight males and kissing is not a sexual act.
You heard the man. It's all up in the up and up.
Is Fly Soldier one of the Island Boys?
Yeah. The
I
other
feel
one,
like everything they
Soldier Red.
say is like,
Red.
if they actually believe it, shows that they are like, they live in opposite land. Like everything kissing is not a sexual act.
Nah,
Between
man.
brothers.
Okay. I guess.
It's all in good fun.
Yeah, just
When
gotta
you
check it
do it the way you two did it, it looks pretty sexual.
You know the Sedines kiss. They just never did it on camera.
And that's fine.
You know they did behind closed doors.
After every point.
Listen, if they had directed it to their OnlyFans,
Time to settle
page, who
up,
knows what could
Henrik.
happen? Yeah, come on, Henrik.
They have
what you owe me.
OnlyFans.
3 points tonight. You know what Mom said.
Oh my God.
It's why we play for the same team.
Your answer is yes, they do have OnlyFans.
If they do that for free, what do they do on their OnlyFans?
I don't even want to tell you.
Listen, what they do on their OnlyFans is probably not
Does
sexual.
Sedines have an OnlyFans?
Yes. Yes. Current day Sedines have an OnlyFans.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Do you want to have a tickle fight, Henrik? Oh, I thought you would never ask, Daniel.
I would pay top dollar to watch this.
I would not. Oh my God. Where are we?
Oh, we've gone over the time limit.
Yeah, it hasn't been good either. This has not been a good show. Kennedy, apologies.
Listen, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Fortunately, none of this equipment is on and no one heard a word we
None of
said.
this has been plugged
Nope,
in.
it's fine.
I'm glad I brought up the Island Boys, though.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Sometimes you got to kiss your brother for clip. That's what we've learned today.
If 2023 has taught us anything.
So next time I see my brother, I'm gonna lick his tonsils.
But you got to make sure somebody's videoing it.
Well, of course. I wouldn't do it just for fun. Or would I?
Looks like that wasn't their first kiss.
It didn't look like it was.
No.
Yeah. Could you imagine that?
They knew it. They would lean their heads and everything. It was a lot.
Oh man, the camera wasn't even on. Gotta do it again.
Oh no.
Oh, my pants flew off.
Oh no.
We the best.
Have a great week, everybody.